Hi, and welcome to the first actual episode of today's demo. So we're going to be going through an interactive story path like mentioned in the first video. So to get things started, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the previous application, which is create a new application with create react app. So npx create react app, and then the name of the project. So mine is going to be ISP demo of interactive story path. I installed already React, Bootstrap, and Bootstrap, and I added the link here in the HTML. Again, these things I've all done with the Lego app previously, so if you want to take a look at those steps, go back to the first video we did in the Lego app, then you're up and running. So running the app has our app.js. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a page. We're going to make our first page and then again try and practice of splitting up that page, the HTML of it, into different components. So it's also a preamble for the next clip we're going to be, or the next tutorial we're going to be handling, which will be handling React Router. But for now, let's just create a new folder here called Pages. And this will include all our components that will be considered as a page. So if I want to load one page as a whole, that's going to be in there. If one page consists of multiple smaller components, that's going to be in the folder components. So perfect. Again, let's clean things up. So the things I do not want, let me check. Let's delete everything from app. Let's delete the logo, delete the report, the setup, just clean everything up. Of course, it's going to be crashing here on the right side. We don't care about that. In the index.js, so most people clean it up, but they forget that they are calling functions here in the index.js, which are not needed anymore. So let's go and delete these. App doesn't exist anymore. That will be replaced with our page in the future. We don't have app, the index is okay, and we can leave those. So now we have a blank page. Again, I deleted everything except for index CSS and index.js. Again, index CSS can be used to place your global CSS files into it. Good. Now, let's get started and create our first page. All right, so our first page is going to be a file here in Pages. We're going to call it just the info page. Info page.jsx. All right, I'm going to use my trusty shortcut RAFCE for the ES7 snippets for React. Again, pause the video from time to time to type things over, and that is our info page. Again, we're going to do it again in multiple steps, specifically to train creating new components and learn how to refactor, because in React, multiple times you're going to end up saying, this could have been multiple components. So let's create our common page here first. Let's see if it loads. So we have our application here. We're going to be importing this here, info page on the bottom here, bam. And as you can see in very small here, we see info page. Good. Now let's take this div and try to fill it up. So what we need is a header. So that doesn't work here. Let's see. Info page. Now, again, you will be seeing some auto-completion from time to time. This is to help me speed up the demo along, but it is actually GitHub Copilot suggesting those things. So don't worry about that for now. So the description is the info page, then compared with a description goes here. All right. Again, using regular old HTML. We're going to have a section explaining the goals of the exercise and a section explaining the theory. So again, multiple things here that can be used. I'm going to be copy pasting the look and feel for React Bootstrap, the accordion menu. So as you might see, this might make it look a bit more fancy than our regular HTML. So give me a second and I will copy paste in the info page section. Okay, so here you can see we have not the index, but the info page, the accordion menu. So on the right side, you can see now the goals. You can drop it out, close it again. So I added the class name container, so it's a bit more clean. Again, an accordion consists of items and then, of course, a header and a body. So the header being here goals. These are the goals, goal 1 and 2. And now you will see me do something very frowned upon in React. I'm going to just copy paste this whole block and just call it, what is it? Goals and the theory. The theory is also going to be, these are the theory bullets and just theory. I'm just making dummy data to prove a point on how components work. So as you can see now, we have twice the... Let's put a break in it. Yeah, perfect. So twice the same thing. So you might already be thinking, how can I make this into components? Perfect. That's a good mindset, but let's continue. Now, the exercise itself, again, as explained in the first video, this is where we will be having just a very simple 2 input fields for a name and an email. We're going to have 1 video as a base video, and then we have 2 videos as options, and they will need to choose between those 2 videos and give their feedback, the reason why they picked that video. So let's put the input fields and the menu first. But now we're really on to the second part of the application. So now we're at least going to create a new component. So if you go to components, and we're going to create an exercise. So we can reuse that exercise. Okay. And now in here, in that exercise, we are going to be loading that exercise into the info page. So again, go to the info page, make a break and maybe a horizontal line so it's clear that there is a divide. As you can see, it already suggests in the exercise, but we'll leave everything exercise, and now it should be loaded in exercise. Okay, next step would be to fill this exercise with everything we need. So we need 2 input fields. First of all, 2 input fields. Can I comment in here? Yeah, we need it's already suggesting for me. So what I'm gonna do now, maybe might be a bit more fun for you to start if you're following along, to actually take some time to it. So we need the exercise title. We need a description. Yeah, fine, why not? We need 2 input fields. 2 input fields, name and email. Base video, 2 other videos, so the choice, text area for feedback, and a submit button. So this is what we need in this component for now. So again, I would like you to pause this video and take some time to fill all these out. So again, write some comments above the exercise and try to fill this out with your regular HTML that you know of. We're going to make it interactive later on, but for now, just make sure you can fill everything in. I'm going to pause the video here, or you should pause the video here, and when you come back, there's going to be lots of HTML here on the screen as well, and we can go over how I build it. Good luck. All right, we're back with a full exercise build up from the ground up. And there's some repetition in here. There is some things that could be improved, but hey, this is the basis with what we're going to be working with. So let's see what we have here. So on the right side, I made it a bit bigger. So we have exercise 1, which is the title. We have a description of the exercise. And then we have, let's see if I can get it bigger. We have 2 input groups, the email and the full name. We can type in here. Then we have 3 iframes. Again, the iframes itself, I think the height can be a bit adjusted. Let me check. The height can still be a bit smaller. Let's refresh. Oops, I did the width. Let's make it 180 to make sure we get that sweet 16:9. I could calculate it, but I don't have time for that. So again, 180. Again, you see the problem that I'm doing here. Maybe it's on purpose, in the sense that I have 3 iframes, so I have to adjust each one individually. Again, make sure you have the YouTube links with the embed in it. Regular YouTube links do not work. You need to use youtube.com/embed/ and then the ID, which is the last ID of a YouTube clip available. So, as you can see, I have my main video. I have choice A, choice B. I can make some text appear as well. Choice A. Voila. And then, of course, choice B. So now our thing is going to be like, which one is the correct video to continue? Argument. Well, of course, after the intro, I'm going to be using part 1 because part 1 follows after the intro. Part 2, you need to first watch part 1, so etc. This is the exercise that you can fill in as much as you want. Now, we have this. So again, we have the input group. We have an iframe. The iframes can be found, of course, online for YouTube as well. And if we go downstairs, we have a radio button, so a form check with so grouped as well. So we have A and B. I think I can make this default, if I'm not mistaken. Default checked, maybe. Let me. Oh, that's a typo. And yeah, so A is default checked, so that's good. So that we always have an answer that way. We have a form control, which is a text area, which we can write a very lengthy reason on why something is necessary. And we have a button, send the answer for feedback. Okay, next step would be to split these up. So what I would suggest is, let's go, now that you have your basic overview of how the app should work with the components and the details, try splitting everything up in their correct components. So the ones we're going to be making is the info section here. This is duplicates, so we can reuse this one. We are going to be using a YouTube video section. The rest is going to stay in here. And we're going to have a exercise feedback mechanism. So the moment we click on send answer, we load in a different component that shows us the feedback of whether or not we were wrong. Let's get going. So this is mostly copy paste. So again, make your components first. The first one is YouTube video. That's the most easy. .jsx. Voila. In that YouTube video, I'm just going to return an iframe. So you're going to go to the exercise. I'm going to cut this one. And I'm going to place this one here. Now, of course, we need to have 3 different videos. That means that our source is going to be different. So we're going to be working with the ID. So that means I'm going to do some trickery here. Let me check. I think I need to put it between brackets. And then I can just replace this with the $sign video ID. Now the $sign video ID, I'm going to be passing along to this component, video ID. As you can see, now I can call this YouTube video with the video ID, and it will render the iframe with the correct video ID. I think I lost one of my IDs. Let me check first. So first thing is going to be YouTube video. Video ID. Apparently it's already passing me 1. So as you can see, well, it's the wrong video, but the thing is still the same for you guys. So again, here, same component, remove it, and here also the same component. I'm going to place it below here and add the correct ID. Voila, remove the iframe. As you can see, our code is a little bit more manageable right now. So again, if I want to change something to the YouTube iframe, I can do it now in that specific component YouTube video. So we'll leave the videos as that. The second thing we want to do is to have these info sections split up. So we have to go back to the info page. So again, this accordion is one info section. So we're going to create a new component called info section.jsx. And we're going to copy paste the whole accordion into it. And the info section, which is quite fun, is always two things. It's always a description. It has a title, a description, and a list. So you know what? We're going to import those, or at least destruct them at least. So a title, a what was it again? Title, description. Let's call it descript, and then a list of bullet points if there is one. Okay, let's make this dynamic. So the theory will be the title. The description goes here. And this will all make sense later as well if we are loading in the new the actual data. So instead of having standard li elements, voila, Copilot is already there to the rescue. Voila. So what it will do is it will loop over the list using a map function, and for each item I'm going to render a list item. So at the moment, don't forget to import your accordion here as well. And now we can replace this section with the data. So going back to the info page. Now, these, again, at the moment, we need to hard code it, as in info section. And voila. I love it that I have Copilot to my rescue. I'm gonna make this a bit smaller so you can see the code. Et voila. As you can see, section 1, section 2. I want to replicate this for this. And let's, just to make sure we have two different ones. We have the goals and we have the theory that students need to learn. As you can see, we have now, again, goals, we have theory, and we pass along in everything separately. Later, we will pass along more things. So again, it got a little bit more compact. All right. Now, let's stick it. Let's stay here for now, and let's move on to the next video where we will be using JSON data to load in, and we're going to be using new hooks to work with. Okay. So thanks for following along. Go and try to have some fun here. Try different things. Maybe do something with the YouTube video to make it as much as you like it. Design some stuff as well. And I'll see you in the next video when we will be learning about how to get data in and use the state hook.